Hey future CPA, Brian Kessler here, and a question that I get asked all the time is, Brian, is UWorld Roger CPA Review, is it enough to pass a CPA exam? Or am I going to need some test banks and study notes and some other shenanigans to really have a complete CPA review course? Well, I'm going to put together a video for you guys today that's going to really bust this myth. So no, you do not need any extra test banks or study notes or anything like that. Roger CPA Review, they give you everything you need to pass. But I'm also going to be revealing a special coupon code that you can use when you invest in Roger CPA Review that's going to give you access to a free CPA exam mentorship program that's going to really help you use their program even more efficiently and significantly increase your odds of passing with the UWorld Roger CPA Review platform. So we've got a lot of great stuff. Let's hop behind my computer and get started. My name is Brian Kessler, and I help smart accountants pass the CPA exam no matter how busy they are. My ultimate goal is to get you from stressed to performing at your best, no matter what CPA review course you're using. Welcome to Ultimate CPA Exam Guide. All right, future CPA. So your number one concern when picking a CPA review course to use to pass a CPA exam is, will this course teach me the AICPA Blueprints? So the entire exam is based off of the blueprints. Each question, each simulation that you're going to get, it's going to be based on something that is listed there. So the first thing to get out of the way is that yes, Roger CPA Review, they teach you everything from the blueprints, and they've put together a little cheat sheet here that basically lines up which study unit goes to which blueprint so that you can be confident that they're covering everything that you need to know in order to pass a CPA exam. Let's see here. So the next thing to worry about is, are the questions good enough to teach you the blueprints? Are the video lectures good enough to teach you the blueprints? And so here's how the CPA exam industry works. So the AICPA, they release a lot of questions. So basically they have some old questions that they decided to throw out of the CPA exam and not use anymore. So then they release those to all the test prep providers. So what Roger CPA Review, which is powered by UWorld, has done is they take the AICPA questions and then they spend literally millions of dollars developing their own explanations. They developed with the help of UWorld, they've created a unbelievably efficient study platform that basically ties all these questions that have been released by the AICPA plus some additional ones that they've created. Everything is tied together. So the textbook, everything is tied to the blueprints, and then you can literally answer a question, tie it back to the textbook, the source material, and also the video lecture. And so I actually just recently interviewed Roger Phillipp of Roger CPA Review about how this process has worked now that they've been purchased by UWorld. So I'll play that clip now.
I mean, one of the nice things with Roger CPA Review and UWorld is we merged in about 2018, and UWorld are exam experts. I mean, they have prepared millions of people to prepare for medical and nursing and pharmacy, SAT, bar exam, and now CPA. And one of the nice things is they've invested millions of dollars in the content. They've invested a lot of money in the technology as well. Because the way that we're using this product is we believe in what we call an active learning methodology. And what that means is you learn by doing. And I know for myself, I learn from the practical application. So when I'm going through and I'm teaching concepts, let's say it's the video part of the lecture, I try to keep, high energy, exciting, motivated. I try to keep students engaged and actively participating, because the more senses you use, the better you learn something. You see it, you hear it, you read it, you say it, you'll remember it. Same thing with the content. We have a top quality team. Basically, they have a process where they go through and help develop questions and answers and explanations, and we make sure that all of that content is mapped to the AICPA blueprints. And the blueprints basically say what's going to be tested and how it's going to be tested and the kind of question format you might expect. And the other thing that's great about our solutions is we put graphics or pictures in there, which explains not only why A is right, but why B, C, and D are wrong, for example. And then the technology that we've created helps to keep that study more effective, more efficient, because the goal is to get you back on track, back into your life ASAP, so you can be a productive part of society, so you can help yourself, help your family, help your career develop. So all of this we've been doing. So, with the merger between UWorld Roger CPA Review, it's been awesome for the product, it's been awesome for the company, and it's been awesome for all of our users out there.
So as you can see, having a company that has millions of dollars, there's a lot of advantages because they were able to do some significant investment into the questions, into the explanations, and also just the test prep platform itself. So, this is the big thing for me is that, having confidence in the material and then looking at how efficiently it teaches you the material. So let's take a look at an example on how this works. So Roger CPA Review or Roger CPA, they use what's called a QBank. So basically you can create an exam and then basically you can select the study unit that you want to create a practice quiz over. So we'll go over there. We'll make it really small since we're doing a video here. So as you can see already, this is exactly like what you'll see on the CPA exam. And so basically you, because of the way I have it set up, we can just click through and answer these questions. So something that's also very cool about Roger CPA Review that is very unique to the industry is that you can literally take digital notes on the test bank questions here. You can also create your own flashcards. So if this is something that you're like, oh, I really need to remember this, you can create a flashcard. This is the front, and then this is the back. So it's all built into this platform. And again, what's really cool is that everything is connected to your mobile device. So everything is in the cloud. It syncs up in real time. So you could be, studying at work, and then you hop on the train to head home, and then continue studying right where you left off on your mobile device. And you can even download lectures offline and so forth. So it's a really efficient platform that I really love it. Okay, so then let's see. So yeah, digital note. And what's cool is that this note is going to be searchable. So if you put in a keyword, I'll show you here in a second what that means. All right, so now we can submit the testlet. Okay, so this is where the real magic happens. So when you're using a CPA review course, the first step is to answer a question. But to answer it doesn't really mean a whole lot because at this point you're still in the learning phase. So the key here is to how is this question going to help me gain an understanding of the blueprint that's being tested. And so what I love about Roger CPA Review, and this is where the millions of dollars have come in, is that they give you this action column, which is just so powerful. So you see, okay, I missed this question ID right here. So you can click view. And so here's the explanation. And so if this explanation isn't good enough, I'm still not understanding why I got the question right or wrong, then I can click another link and then it literally pops up the textbook, the digital version, and the video lecture. And then I can continue learning there. If I have further questions, all I have to do is click this question and then submit it to their team. And then I can essentially, and anytime I have highlighted something, it's going to show up here as well. So again, this is the key. This is what makes Roger CPA Review so powerful, is that when you're reviewing your practice quizzes, you have everything at your disposal within just a couple clicks. So before, you had to look up the study unit, then you'd grab your textbook and then have to manually go to it, and it was not a very efficient process. And so again, these explanations, they're very in-depth. This is where they've spent millions of dollars on hiring CPAs and everything to make sure that each question is sufficiently answered, and especially if you get it wrong, they'll explain why it's wrong and so forth. So this is really what you want to look for when picking a CPA review course. And again, I highly recommend that you sign up for the Roger CPA Review trial. So I'll put a link in the video description to make it easy to sign up for that. But basically, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of how efficient this system is in terms of getting you to the source material as quickly as possible. Because again, these seconds of research, they start to add up, and if you can't get to where you need to go, it's going to be very difficult to get through everything that you need to. So in terms of the actual lectures themselves, so let's introduce you to Roger's teaching style here. And so he's big on examples. He'll teach you from the textbook, but he'll give you examples, mnemonics, all this stuff that's going to help keep you engaged. And obviously he drinks a few Mountain Dews before he dives into the studio, but I'll let the video play here for a couple seconds.
Now that we understand the basics of the different types of audits, which again, the compliance audits, operational audits, financial statement audits, where you're trying to give an opinion about the assertions in the financial statements, let's talk about something pretty new and exciting, the Clarity Project or the Clarity Standards. Now,
so as you can see, Roger, he puts on a show. He's very energetic. He tries to make the content that, as boring as it is, as engaging as possible. So if you're somebody who falls asleep during video lectures, this is your guy. This is the guy you want to teach you all this material, because it's very dry. And if anyone can make it entertaining, it's going to be Roger Phillipp. And so what I really like too about just their lecture setup is that you have the digital on one half of your screen, the video lecture on the other. You can quickly take notes. So if I was studying with Roger CPA Review, I would probably make the screen a little bit smaller, move the notes over here, and then move it over there, and then boom, there you go. You have everything you need. Then you can follow along in either your physical textbook or the digital one here. So I personally, I'm a physical textbook guy, but I would probably be using digital notes, and here's why. So if we back out and go to, let's see, QBank. So go back to the QBank. So you go to notes, and everything is searchable. So anything you enter into the notes is going to be searchable at just one keyword. So we can, say update or something like that. So it's going to filter out every single note you've made over a particular keyword. So if you're doing some research on a question that you got wrong about maybe compliance audits or something along those lines, then you can literally go to your notes, type it in, and it will pop up here, and it will pull in the question ID and so much more. So again, and then, and there's also a section for notes as well. So basically there's notes you take from the test bank, and it's going to be tied back to the question. And then in the lecture section, there's also digital notes. So again, it's all about speed, efficiency, being able to get to the source material as quickly as possible. And the same goes for flashcards. You can also type in keywords, and there's the flashcard that I just made. So again, and having just the ability to do quick searches is going to be very efficient for you. So then the next phase is your CPA review course going to help you identify your weaknesses? And so that is the key point, because you don't want to be studying things that you already understand, and you definitely want to be focusing the majority of your time on the areas that you don't understand. And so what Roger UWorld CPA Review has is the SMART path. So basically it's broken out by chapter. And so basically these are targets that people who pass the CPA exam hit. So basically their data, they have hundreds of thousands of students. So they have all this data of people who have passed, and then they look at what questions those people answered and get correct, and then they help that helps create a target for you. So again, just hitting your target doesn't mean you truly understand the material. So again, that's what I'm talking about, is that you do need to make sure you truly understand the material, and you don't just answer questions to get them right. So that's the little caveat here. Just hitting your target doesn't mean you understand the material. It's really, again, answering questions is just the first step, and it's going to help you identify what you probably do understand and probably don't understand. And then you can use these targets as kind of the litmus test to determine where you should be spending your time. So again, SMART path, very powerful. I do wish it was broken out into more sub-chapters, but at the end of the day, I think it gets the job done and really helps you identify where you should be spending your time, what lectures maybe you need to go back to, which areas in the textbook, and so forth. Okay, and then there's also some additional reports that they give you. So basically, this is just another way to cut the data and kind of look at where you need to be spending your time. Okay, so now that we've verified that you don't need any additional test banks or any additional training, just because of how efficient this platform is at teaching you the blueprints, let's talk about some of the weaknesses that I have identified with Roger CPA Review powered by UWorld. And so a few of those would include, there isn't much in terms of mental preparation, so that the planning, they don't give you a whole lot for planning. So if you look here at study resources, they give you a study planner, but basically it's just a spreadsheet that you select based on 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. And so there isn't, in terms of actually planning based on your specific situation, they don't give you a whole lot of resources. They also don't really teach you how to use the platform to maximize your odds of learning the blueprints and truly understanding them. So again, everyone learns just a little bit differently, so they just kind of throw all this stuff out there, give you a 2-minute video, 2.5-minute video kind of walking you through how to use the platform, but that's about the extent of their support. So if you have specific questions, you actually have to reach out to their team to ask them about that. So some other things are, there isn't much of a community. So they do have a study hub, which includes thousands of questions that have previously been answered and so forth. So you can browse that, and then if the question hasn't been answered, then you can shoot their CPA exam experts a question via email. And then they also don't provide you with any, and this kind of goes back to the mental prep, like they don't prepare you for failure. So what happens if you fail? What do you do? How do you respond to that? How do you schedule? How much time do you need to spend studying and so forth? And then also just test anxiety in general. So obviously that's going to be a major factor on exam day that can even derail the most prepared CPA candidate. So these shortcomings can be filled in by what's called a CPA exam mentorship program. So this is going to be somebody who is a CPA, and then has can devote time to helping you with these sorts of issues that you're going to come across when you're using Roger CPA Review, or any CPA Review course for that matter. These issues are not isolated to Roger CPA Review. They're across all the major CPA Review courses. And so basically there is a solution, and so I've created what's called Ultimate CPA Exam Guide, and so this is actually a mentorship program that I've put together. And so basically there's going to be 7 primary modules that will work hand in hand with Roger CPA Review. And so the very first thing, we want to make sure that you have your CPA exam mindset is in check, and that you have the reasons to sit, you understand what sacrifices are going to have to be made, and all that fun stuff. And then we really want to dig into planning, because if you don't plan appropriately, if you give yourself too much time, if you don't give yourself enough time, it's going to be very difficult to pass. So this is something that's very crucial, and you need a lot more than just a spreadsheet that tells you what video to watch on what date. There's a whole lot more that goes into that, and that's what we dig into on this. We also want you to study based on your study personality. So maybe video lectures aren't something that should be your primary focus. Maybe you're more of a self-learner and you learn through reading. We need to help you identify, what's busy work, what isn't busy work, and all that fun stuff. We also want you to make the time to study. So, you can have the most efficient platform in the world, but if you don't make enough time to study, then you're not going to be able to get through it in time. You're going to get behind on your study planner, and then it's just going to increase your test anxiety, and it's going to become a mess. So we also teach you effective study methods that you can implement specifically with Roger CPA Review. So what they're called study loops and study funnels. And so if you look at the lectures here, so if we let's see. So you can see there are, let's see here, in audit, 9 different sections, and within each section there's anywhere from 5 to 10 subtopics and stuff. So there's a ton of information to get through. So how do you keep what's in audit 1, all of these topics here, as fresh as what is covered in audit 9 by exam day? And that's where our training program comes in. We're going to teach you how to implement study loops for the first several weeks, and then during final review, how to implement study funnels to really hone in on your weaknesses and make sure you've covered everything. And so we also have a review course guide of awesome. So basically you can head over here, and then I'll teach you how to use the platform based on your study personality. We're going to teach you everything that you need to do to implement study loops and study funnels, and it's going to relieve a lot of stress and trial and error, because you're going to dive into this platform and not really know what to do, what not to do, and this is going to basically relieve all that anxiety and stress that you might have. And so let's see here, let's get back to the modules. So then after study method training, then you'll want to become a super test taker. So how do you master test anxiety on exam day in the Prometric Center, how do you master multiple choice questions and optimize your odds of selecting the right option, and then also simulations. How do you prepare for simulations and just the complexities that go in with that. And then finally, something that a lot of people don't talk about is also post-exam recovery. So what do you do the moment you walk out of your Prometric Center? What do you do while you're waiting for your next score release? What happens if you fail? What do? You need a plan, or else you're going to mentally just be destroyed if you don't have a plan. What happens if you pass? How do you keep your ego in check so that you don't get lazy and all that fun stuff? And then, in terms of, and again, note taking, that's a big thing that I'm a big fan of, and this is actually a bonus mastery class. So basically, I'm going to teach you how to take notes within Roger CPA Review. So you have the digital note option, but if you're more a pen to paper person, there's other options that are available to help you increase the speed that you can get your fingers on exactly what you need. Because again, I'm all about efficiency and tying everything back as quickly as possible to the source material. So, this is the program that I think completes Roger CPA Review. So you have efficient learning study materials, and then when you combine that with a mentorship program, you're going to have all the support that you need, in addition to the Rogers CPA exam experts as well. So what are your options here? So basically, Roger and I, we're partners. So we give you the ability to bundle my platform with their platform. And all you have to do is, when you select the Elite Unlimited platform, you go through their checkout order process. So basically, you create an account. You make sure that you have the Roger CPA Review Elite Unlimited selected. And then the last step, and this is what gets you instant access to Ultimate CPA Exam Guide for no additional charge, is you enter in coupon code ULTIMATE. And that's literally all you have to do. Then you click apply. And then this gives the Roger team the ping that, okay, this person bought the bundle with Brian Kessler. It should include Ultimate CPA Exam Guide. And then once they process your order within a day or two, they're going to give you instant access to my platform, where you're going to get community, you're going to get mentorship, and then you'll also get access to my CPA exam experts who are available 24/7 to assist you with your questions. So again, this is a really, really powerful platform. This is all you need to pass the CPA exam. You don't need any additional test banks or study notes or any of those shenanigans that are from those small startup companies. You need Roger CPA Review, the Elite Unlimited, and you need Ultimate CPA Exam Guide. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is not necessarily what CPA Review course you use, but how you use it. And that's where a mentor comes in. That's where Ultimate CPA Exam Guide comes in. And all you have to do is enter coupon code ULTIMATE before checking out, and it's going to basically be the same price as if you were to purchase it without Ultimate CPA Exam Guide, but using coupon code ULTIMATE is what triggers giving you access to my mentorship program. And so I really am excited about the direction that UWorld Roger CPA Review is headed. Their platform is the most efficient that I've seen in the industry. I really like it a lot. And so there's definitely a lot of opportunity here, and I'd love to be your mentor on your journey to passing the CPA exam, so that we can maximize your odds of success, because that's what this is all about: helping you learn the blueprints as quickly as possible, and then having a mentor to cheer you on and make sure that if any obstacles come up, whether it's work, personal, family, and so forth, that you have somebody who has been there and has experienced failure and has overcome it and can really teach you on what to do. And then we also have a community of over 1,000 CPA candidates that you can really leverage. So there's people at all stages of the game, so that you're not alone on this journey, and you can communicate with people who actually understand what you're going through, because that's one of the most isolating things about the CPA exam, is that you probably aren't around a whole lot of CPA candidates, especially in these weird times. So having a community of fellow CPA candidates is crucial, and that's what our private study group is all about as well, and you'll get instant access to that as well if you use coupon code ULTIMATE. So go ahead and check the video description for links to everything and a reminder for the coupon code that you can copy and paste. And yeah, I really hope to see you on the inside. And again, it's not about the CPA review course you use, but how you use it. And if you're not sure what CPA review course to use, you can take my study personality quiz. It's a free quiz, and you can do so over at freecpaquiz.com. And then basically I'll send you some free training, identify your study personality, and we can kind of connect you to the right CPA review course for your learning style. So again, thanks for watching and hope this was helpful, and I'm excited to help you pass the CPA exam.